It is officially summer, and that means we have some brand new drugstore makeup releases that we need to try. A lot of these have been going viral, like the Maybelline Bubble Mascara, the NYX Smushy Lip Balm, and I even bought a Morphe palette. So we have a lot to get into. Let's go ahead and try this, and of course I'm going to be doing a wear test too. So let's start this face out with some primer, and I feel like this one has been pretty popular. It's the Grippy Serum Makeup Grip Primer that is from Maybelline. This did launch, I would say, it's been a few months, but to me it is still pretty new and I haven't got a chance to try it out yet, so I figured we would do that today. This is supposed to kind of be like a serum consistency that's going to give the skin a nice plump finish, but also I think it's going to have a little tack to it too. Ooh, it does kind of start off like a serum, but I'm definitely feeling the grip coming in as it spreads along the skin, and it is definitely getting really tacky. I don't know if you guys could tell, but yeah, she is sticky. I know a lot of primers lately have been doing that grippy texture because it's supposed to help cling on to your foundation. Definitely comparable to the e.l.f., but maybe not as thick. This one's definitely more serum consistency and then turns really sticky on this. Now for our foundation, I know there is a lot of exciting skin tints out right now in the drugstore space, but we're going to be trying this today. This is the L'Oreal Skin Ink. It's supposed to be a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, corrector, all of the above. I actually ended up purchasing this in April when I was in the Netherlands. I saw it and I was like, we don't have that in the US, let me pick it up. And then it actually did come to the US now, so it's starting to trickle into stores, but I haven't been able to use it because I got a shade that was way too dark for me, not even realizing. But I have a spray tan right now because my sister-in-law is getting married this weekend, so I got the spray tan, the nails, so I figured, okay, like, we should be able to test this out now. I just feel like the shade range in this doesn't look the best. I picked up number 100, but it definitely seems like this line runs a little dark. There is 22 shades in total, and it's about $15 if you get it on Walmart. It's supposed to give you coverage that doesn't cake with a matte finish, medium buildable coverage, and it says does not cake or crease. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to use it as a foundation or concealer. It's kind of like a big concealer packaging. So let's go ahead and apply. I think I'm just going to go directly onto the skin and just kind of swipe it on so we can get some coverage. I mean, I feel like making it in a small bottle like this, you're not going to be able to apply a lot at once. So I don't know if it's meant to be applied just very lightly or what. I think the shade is still not going to match me. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how I feel about this. I got some applied, so let's just start blending. It is kind of blending right into the skin, I will give it that. It's really thin in consistency. It's not thick whatsoever. But I don't know if I believe that it has like that good of coverage, because this to me seems pretty light in my opinion. Like, I feel like to get a lot of coverage, you are going to have to apply quite a bit of product and you're going to have to swipe into this bottle like multiple times. So I don't know if I believe those claims, because yeah, I have mostly got this all blended in, but you can still see some of my redness peeking through under the skin. It is called Skin Ink, so maybe it's supposed to look like skin. I'm just adding a little bit more here. I am impressed though, like how thin and natural it does look on the skin with having a more matte finish. Not necessarily, it's not looking like super dry or anything, but it's definitely a matte finish. So that's how the skin looks. I would say it did blend in pretty well. It did seem like it was going to be a little bit light for my current tan, but it did blend in. It actually just kind of looks like skin, just a little bit more perfected. I wouldn't say this is a ton of coverage though. I'm curious to try it though as a concealer too. I am going to prime my eyes here before we move on to eyeshadow. I don't have a Drugstore one, but I use the Fenty one, and that one seems to be the best for me. I just always need a primer, otherwise my skin's oily, so my eyeshadow will start creasing more. So I went into Ulta yesterday, and I actually had my eye on these, I think they're new Morphe palettes. I know they had some palettes before, kind of like this, but I think these just came out like on Sunday, and I did swatch them and I was like, wait, these are really pretty. So I wanted to try them out. I think I'm going to use Outer Spice today. They just look really sparkly, and the whole Morphe brand has kind of been just like redoing itself, and they've come out with some really interesting products. But this is what the outer packaging looks like. So this one again is Outer Space, so you kind of have that spacey look on the packaging. And look at these shades inside. Like, how pretty is that? And look at those glitters. So I was instantly drawn into this from this packaging. I know I posted these on my stories. A lot of people were like, oh, like, I swatched those in store, I wasn't impressed. But I'm like, maybe they swatched the older ones, because I think these literally just came out. But you guys know I keep it real over here, and I'll tell you if I like them or not. I think they were like 15 bucks, so not too bad. And I've been kind of liking these more smaller palettes lately. So let's go ahead and put this on the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and start. This is just kind of a basic look you can do with this color. It's kind of a rosy brown. Tap off the excess. I'm using the Singe EO2 brush. And we'll place this in the crease. Pretty pigmented for a first dip in. It does have a little powder kick up, but as long as you are tapping off your brush, it should be just fine. We'll do the other side here. But yeah, just a pretty kind of rosy brown. It does look a little more, I would say, rose on the skin, kind of rosy peach almost. So I like to kind of start with my lighter color in the crease. Sometimes I take the excess and smudge that down here on my lower lash line since I'm using a small brush. It does work for both, but I like to take my excess product down here to match up. And then I'll take a little bit of a bigger brush. I like something fluffier when working in my outer corner, and I'm going to take the darkest matte. It does have sparkle in there, but usually the sparkle will just kind of transfer off, so I'm going to call it a matte. I'm going to place this in the outer corner here, but having a big fluffy brush like the BK, this is the 212, I feel like it just makes the blending just really easy. But yeah, these are nice. I feel like these are blending really good. They seem like even better than some of Colourpop's most recent palettes, and I think they're definitely a similar price point. And then taking that smaller Singe brush again, I am dipping into that same brown and going along my lower lash line with that so that everything matches up. But so far it is looking good. Let's try out the shimmer. These are really sparkly shimmers. I'm going to use this BK A505 for the shimmer. I was really drawn to this golden shimmer, so let's coat the brush here. There is some loose sparkle in this, so I am going to tap the excess off. It might actually be more helpful to even spray your brush after you dip in with some water or setting spray. But it actually is applying okay. I was just worried, since it's kind of loose and not super packed on the brush, if it would kind of get fallout everywhere. But I think tapping off worked wonders. But this looks so good. I swear this must be a new improved formula, because this is so pretty. They're not like wet sparkle shadow. The shimmers itself are a drier formula, but they still pack such a punch and give you so much kind of loose sparkle, which I've been loving lately. If you're not into glitter, these are definitely going to be a pass for you if you prefer metallic over glitter. But I love a glitter, I love a sparkle, and this delivers. Like, honestly, compared in the drugstore space, this quality is better than Colourpop. Honestly, it seems better than some of my Too Faced palettes as well. Just the sparkle this delivers is so pretty. Call me impressed. These are nice. Some of the best drugstore palettes that I've tried in a while. I am going to add just any brown liner will work in my upper and lower lash line here to kind of blend that all together. And then I guess we can do concealer. Should we use this? I feel like this is going to be like very dark of a concealer, but I guess it's supposed to be a 2-in-1. Typically though, I prefer my concealers to be brighter than my foundation, so I don't really like using like a 2-in-1 like that. But let's blend this out and see how this looks under the eyes, because I'm definitely using, I would say, more product here since it's a smaller area. But like I said, the foundation is really, really thin. So that's how it looks. It's looking maybe slightly dry. I do feel like I like a little bit more coverage and more brightening, because this is really not doing enough for my taste. If you do like something really thin though and you don't have a lot of darkness to cover, then this might work for you. But I do have a lot of darkness, especially in my inner corners, that I like to kind of brighten. It's not terrible, but I think I would definitely like this if I had like a little bit of a lighter shade that didn't match exactly with the foundation color. Let's set that concealer with a little bit of this L'Oreal pink powder in their blurring brightening edition. This is a really, really, literally like filter like powder. Ooh, okay, that looks better. I think it's just a little hint brighter and also just kind of smooths things a little bit more. I do really like this one for the under eyes. I can use it all over the face too. It's not, I would say, not the best for mattifying, but it does give you that really smooth blurred appearance. So apparently this is like the craziest brow glue on the market. This is new from NYX. They redid their brow glue and came out with a crazy lift one that's supposed to be even more lift, which is probably good because I don't think their brow glue really stayed up that long. It didn't last the longest and my eyebrows did kind of fall using that. So I am excited to try this one. This one actually doesn't have a spoolie applicator. It has actually this like rubbery brush tip applicator, which is supposed to help. So I think we're just supposed to squeeze some out of here. I'm gonna get this in the brows, just spread all over, and then let's try to kind of lift everything. This applicator actually does a really good job at lifting the brow hairs up. So that's good. I think you're just kind of supposed to keep, you know, lifting and maneuvering the hairs how you want them to lay. I like mine to go a little more diagonal. I don't like too much lift in the front. Just like it to look a little bit more natural and then just give a little extra volume. But if you guys want to see, like, this does, like, look at that. This does lift them up if you're looking for that crazy feathered effect. Definitely curious to see how that holds throughout the day. I feel like there's not a single brow glue that's going to last from morning until night. Eventually they're going to fall a little bit, but this actually feels very promising compared to their other brow glue, which definitely did not have nearly as much lift as this. This is nuts. Next, let's move to mascara, and this has been the mascara of the moment, and it's finally here in the US. This is the Maybelline Bubble Mascara. This is another one that I actually ended up buying in Europe when I was in the Netherlands because they had it out early, and I was like, oh, is this a Europe exclusive? But then all of a sudden it was going crazy on TikTok because it was available on the TikTok shop first, so it got a lot of hype from that. I have been trying this one, so I definitely know my thoughts on it, and it's a nice mascara. This gives really great length and separation because it has that smaller brush that really gets in there to coat the lashes, and they do look so incredibly good. But I will tell you, it is definitely one that can transfer, especially on the lower lash line. I do get a little transferring when I'm wearing this all day. My oils come through and my bottom lashes like kind of transfer onto my lower lash line with this. So it is not completely transfer proof, so if you have problems with transferring, keep that in mind. I think I need like a waterproof version in this because I really love the formula, because when it comes to mascara I'm always looking for as much length as I can get, and this does such a good job. It's one that you can just keep on layering and it doesn't ever get clumpy or spidery. So I've been using this one a while, love it. Lately, especially for summer, I only use it on the top just because I don't like the transferring on the bottom. We can do it for the video though, so I'm going to put some on and we'll see if we can make it last without transferring. I'm just going to do like a really thin layer though. But yeah, I've been kind of just wearing it on the top and then doing waterproof on the bottom. So I love waterproof, but sometimes it's so hard to get off at the end of the day. But this, oh my gosh, it does such a good job. Like, look at these lashes. They look so good. So if transferring, so if you don't have oily skin and you don't have a problem with transferring, this is really good. But I bet they will come out with a waterproof version. I think that one's going to be even better. But so far, like, This does make my lashes look incredible. I will give it that. For bronzer, this has been going pretty viral, but I'm going to use this Physicians Formula stick. This came out earlier this year, and it's supposed to be like a dupe for the Dibs Beauty one, but one side has the contour. There is other shades too, but this is what the contour looks like. It's a really nice cool tone. It does feel very emollient. And then this is the blush side, and this color is Beachy Pink. So they have a few different shades in the line. Really pretty colors though, so that is what it looks like. What I like to do, I don't like to apply it straight on the face because I just feel like that's too messy. I'm loving my Makeup by Mario F4 brush. Honestly, one of the best brushes for bronzer, contour, and I'm just soaking my brush in that product. I'm gonna dab some on my hand so it kind of spreads out evenly on the brush, and then I'm gonna apply it to the cheeks. Ooh, okay, that's nice and soft. Very nice, subtle color, and I feel like it's the perfect, like, neutral, cool leaning tone for my skin, where it's not looking orange at all, but works so well if you have more of a fair skin tone. Let's do it this side. I'm trying to decide if I want to just use this on its own. Lately, I have been, especially for summer, doing the cream and then taking a powder on top of it. Just, it makes it way more longer lasting. Because oftentimes in the summer, your cream products aren't always going to hold up if you have more oily skin. But this looks honestly really, really good. It looks so natural. Honestly, this performs like better than some other high-end contour and bronzer sticks that I've used. We'll go under my chin a little bit to define that, but yeah, that looks really nice. It does have a slight coconutty smell like most Physicians Formula products do, but I'm not mad at it. I think that looks really good, really natural. It would make a great base, or I guess for today we'll try it by itself. Let's go ahead and use the blush side as well, just so we can try out the whole product. I'm gonna put some on my hand like so, and dip my brush in. So I'm gonna use the BK 111. This does seem like it's going to be a little more sheer. I did put quite a bit of product on, and that is a really pretty pink, but it's definitely more, I would say, a little more natural. Definitely very creamy and emollient, so I don't know how well it's going to wear on my skin. It definitely gives you that baby pink, like glowing, healthy look. I am going to set with some powder though. I'm going to take what is left over on my little under eye sponge. Since this has a little bit of pink to it, it helps kind of set the blush. And then for the heck of it, let's go ahead and use the L'Oreal blurring powder too, in the translucent color all over. I'm still trying to decide if I like this all over the face, but you can see. Well, I'll show you guys one side and you'll see how blurring this is. Okay, so I applied it on this side. You can see, like, this looks like a filter. This does have a little more glow to it. Don't worry, those oils will come back through, but this just looks so smooth, like doll skin. It is beautiful. I've had this L'Oreal highlight for a minute, and I figured I should probably use this. It's the Lumi Le Glow highlighter stick. This as well I'm going to go ahead and put on my hand first and then apply it. Oh, I could probably apply this with my fingers actually, just for a more natural look. They have the glass and the glow ones. The glass ones look a little sticky. They don't have quite as much pigment as these glow ones, but I think they're supposed to look like wet skin basically. But they looked too sticky for me, so I went with the lightest shade in the glow ones, which is Glowy Cream Chic, I think it's called. I'm just gonna barely apply any of this just with my finger. It does give a little shimmer. I don't know if I love this undertone. For me, this is a little too champagne, where I like something a little more pearlescent and not quite as yellow, but I think it does the job. It's just feeling a little sticky though. It's not really drying down. I'm just not really such a big highlight girl these days. I might just put a little more powder on top of that just to make sure it's going to stay. But it does give a little natural glow to the cheeks, so I can definitely see like some golden, like a golden undertone that I don't really love for me. I am just gonna set my face real quick and then I'll do the lips, but I forgot I can't really breathe during this. This is the L'Oreal 3-second setting mist. Definitely got some of that in my mouth. It literally smells and feels like hairspray, but you know what? I love it, and I think it really locks in my makeup. But yeah, it don't get this in your mouth. It is incredibly strong. Okay, for lips, I think these are a little bit controversial, but I've been wanting to try them. These are new from NYX. They're the smushy matte lip balms. Such a cute name, but like, what is a matte lip balm? Like, I don't know. I did swatch one of these in stores, and what I gathered is it's kind of more like a velvety finish. It's not shiny. It's a matte lip balm that kind of feels like a velvet liquid lipstick, but it's not as long lasting as a liquid lipstick. So I don't know. We're gonna put these on and see what I think. I am gonna line my lips first just to give some extra volume. And for the lip color, we're gonna use Snuggle Season. This one looks like a nice rosy tone as well. Yeah, definitely very velvety. Like, it kind of feels like silicone on the lips. I feel like it's kind of hard to blend it though. I guess they kind of give you that tinted look, but I don't like how like slippy these are. Like, it feels literally like silicone on my lips. I don't know if I love that. Here is the full look together. I think it looks all together really nice, but of course I am going to be doing a wear test today so we can see how all these products play together and how they are lasting on my oily skin. So I will see you guys a little later today. We are back. It has been 6 hours, which I feel like is a pretty good amount of time to kind of see how the products are working. So here is what we are looking like. I feel like overall the base actually looks really good. Did not touch up at all today, so this is what we look like with no touch up. So we have a little shine, but it's not bad. I think the main thing I'm noticing is that you can definitely see the mascara has transferred. Some of my eyeliner did as well. So let me kind of touch that up a little bit. I usually just kind of run my concealer brush over, but yeah, the mascara did transfer on the lower lash line, which is definitely why I don't recommend it for the lower lash line, or if you are oily, or even just in the summer, because your makeup is going to be sweating off a little bit more. But let's talk about our base combo. We got the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer and the L'Oreal Skin Ink Foundation. These actually have played really well together. All of my makeup is still going strong, it looks like, which is honestly really good for 6 hours. A lot of foundations I start getting greasy in hour 3. So I feel like this definitely works. Although if you already have a grippy primer like the e.l.f. or the Milk Makeup one, you probably don't need this, but I think I like that it's more of a serum consistency while the e.l.f. one is a little bit thicker, and this one worked really well for me. So I do like the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. This kind of shocked me as well because I really didn't think I was going to like this, although I'm still unsure if I love this packaging. I would just prefer this in a pump bottle. I know it's supposed to be like a concealer foundation in one, but I do have to use a lot of product and dipping in multiple times with this. I guess they were kind of going for the whole thing when, you know, people sometimes use their concealer as foundation. I will give it props though. It is incredibly lightweight. It's not the most coverage, but it looks good on the skin, and I think it works well for oily skin especially. So I could definitely see myself maybe doing a light layer of this, especially in the summertime, since it does have that more matte finish, but it really is so lightweight, which is definitely a huge plus. I have been liking the L'Oreal powder more and more. I wasn't sure if I would like it for setting the face, but it really does give you that flawless filter finish. But if I'm going for more long wear, I'm still going to pick my Huda powder over this, but I do really like how this looks too, and I think it is a really great powder option from the drugstore, which has been lacking. As far as the brows go, I think they definitely have fallen a little bit, but this honestly does work really well. I didn't expect it to stay super up like all day long, but the brows still have some really great hold. I think this is like miles better than their original brow glue, and one of the best, I would say, drugstore brow lift products on the market. Really good stuff. I would use this like in my daily routine. I know there's a lot of good brow gels out there and brow waxes, but this truly does work for that ultra feathered effect. Like I mentioned, I love the bubble mascara. If it didn't transfer, it would be perfect because it does give me great length. Maybe one day they will make this in waterproof, but for now, I'm still going to use it on my top lashes. Unfortunately, it just will not work on my bottom lashes. For the cheeks, I did use the Physicians Formula stick with the blush and bronzer. I don't know where that is currently, but I'm going to insert a little picture on here. This actually has held up. I did not expect it to, because like I said, I usually have to layer powder on top of my creams, but I feel like this would also make a great base, but it also performs really well on its own. Yes, it was a little emollient, but I still think it looks good on the skin. I like the colors. I think it is a great alternative for the Dibs product, and it performs, in my opinion, better than some of my high-end cream sticks. The L'Oreal highlights, I don't really know if I necessarily need this. I just am not a highlight girl. We still have the glow going strong, but I definitely have more, I would say, natural looking products. This had too much of a gold finish for my liking and was a little bit too streaky on my skin. So, you know, it's fine, it works, but not something I necessarily am going to use that much in my normal routine. And then lastly, the NYX Smushy Matte Lip Balm. Interesting product. I did not have to touch this up at all. This is not touched up whatsoever, and we still have tint. So it's kind of like a more comfortable version of a matte liquid lipstick. My lips aren't like dry though, but I'm so used to having a gloss on or something shiny, so this is weird for me. But I love that I have color all day, so I feel like this could be a nice little stain product too. I kind of want to try some of the darker colors because I think this could be really pretty. I just would probably use this with very little product because I don't want to have too much on that it's going to be smearing off. I kind of like the stain effect once it's more dried down and worn throughout the day. I don't have to worry about it transferring onto anything, but it does leave behind a nice little stain. So I don't hate this. It's a weird concept, but I might try a couple more shades in this. Let me do a little more powder here. And we're looking good to go for even more hours today. But that's my thoughts on this new drugstore makeup. There has been some really good gems at the drugstore lately. Let me know if you guys are picking any of these up. I have some more stuff to try too, especially from e.l.f. They just launched new stuff as well. So stay tuned and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.